Mike Dudas from Ball High School, along with some new friends I've just made from the powerlifting program, a sport that you don't hear too much about, but in recent weeks, especially this school year, it's really become prominent in our athletic program, and it's a program that's really off to a great start. So I'm going to go down the line and tell me your name.
Geovon Evans.
Robert Ellis III.
Vashed Thompson.
Abigail Westhouse.
All right, so we have two guys in here and two girls in here representing the program. So let's get to know each of these great student athletes first, and we'll talk a little bit more about the powerlifting program. So to my left again, reintroduce yourself and tell me what grade you're in.
I'm Geovon Evans. I'm in the 12th grade.
Okay, so Geovon, you're a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you're looking forward to graduating probably, right, this time of year?
Yes.
Probably have a good case of senioritis right now.
Actually, I do.
You really just ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
What learning community are you in?
I'm in the STEM program.
STEM, oh, okay, well, smart kid here. So, so what classes are you taking this year?
This year, I'm currently in EMS at
okay.
GC. I also take AP reading with Ms. Schumann, college algebra prep also.
Okay, so you're still, even though you're a senior, you're still being academically challenged, right?
Yes, sir.
So are you working towards an EMS certification?
Yes, sir.
And what is your ultimate goal after graduating?
I want to be a fireman once I graduate.
Oh, wow, great. So I got to salute to you for being a senior, but it doesn't sound like, you know how some seniors, oh, this is going to be my kickback year. So you're still academically challenging yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so moving on, next student.
Robert Ellis. I'm currently a junior.
Okay, junior, and what community are you in?
STEM.
STEM too, okay, and what classes are you taking this year?
I currently take college algebra, a lot of dual credit classes, and a lot of AP classes.
AP classes, okay, so again, you're academically challenged too?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what is your favorite class?
My favorite class, which is also one of my most challenging classes,
Okay.
is AP Economics.
AP, oh yeah, I always hear that. And that's with Coach Key?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Coach Key's a good teacher, but he will challenge you, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you both those questions. What is your favorite and the most challenging that you have to work really hard at? So it sounds like AP Economics, right?
Yes, sir. And
What makes it so challenging?
What makes it challenging is just the material. It's all new material. It's not something that you can come in on or already got a background in this. You have to really understand and apply yourself. And plus, the teacher's going through a lot right now. So him battling with his cancer, I know he's battling with cancer right now. So it's like I'm fighting with him, and I got to fight for him.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. All right, so in AP Economics, I'm assuming it's a lot of graphs and statistics and percentages and that type of thing too, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got to understand all that and probably be halfway good at math too, have a math mind too, right?
Yeah.
So that college algebra
Really comes in handy.
All right, so we skipped over that question with you. What is your favorite class?
My favorite class, EMS.
EMS, okay.
Yes,
yeah, that'd
sir.
probably be mine if I had your class load. And what class really challenges you that you have to really work hard at?
College algebra prep and EMS.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. So those both keep you on your toes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, moving down the line, our first young lady down there, reintroduce yourself.
I'm Vashed Thompson. I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Oh, Coach brought a good cross-section of students in here. All right. So you're sophomore. What community are you in?
I'm in the biomed community.
Biomed community. So what classes are you taking this year?
I mostly take pre-AP classes and a couple AP.
All right. And same question that I asked the guys. What is your favorite class?
My favorite class would have to be AP Human Geography.
AP Human Geography. Okay. And that's probably with Miss Morrison.
Oh, I have Mr. Beeler.
Oh, Mr. Bueller, okay, because I know several teachers teach that. So tell me a little bit about that class, that kids that don't know anything about AP, that class.
It's mostly just learning about the world, how everyone communicates, and just there's a lot of work with, like, on the computers and just things like that.
And that's AP Human Geography, right?
Yes, sir.
When I first heard about that class, I don't know, a number of years ago, I was thinking, AP Human Geography, is that something about the body or something, you know, the geography of the body or whatever, but no, yeah, then whenever I was told the description, oh, okay, that makes sense. So so that class really keeps you on your toes?
Yes, it's a challenging class, but it's one of my favorites.
Okay, great. And last but not least, at the end, reintroduce yourself.
My name is Abigail Westhouse, and I'm a senior.
Okay. And what community are you in?
I am biomed.
Biomed. And what is your ultimate goal for graduation, after graduation?
To start nursing school at GC.
Okay, all right. So what classes are you taking this year?
I am in PCT. I take 2 dual credit classes. I'm in college algebra prep and BEST.
Okay, BEST. All right, so you like BEST?
It's my favorite class, yes.
And, all right, and I knew you're probably going to say that. And what school do you go to for BEST, the BEST program?
I go to Rosenberg.
Rosenberg, okay. And what do you do there?
I mainly just help the kids with their schoolwork. And, like, sometimes we'll have free time. Especially we get on Prodigy, and they like to battle with me on Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I like it.
And how many days a week are you on the Rosenberg campus?
2.
2 days a weekend. And then when you're not on campus, what do you do in class?
We're just talking about like different things. Like this week we did our ideal teacher.
Uh-huh.
How we wanted our ideal teacher to look.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did this week. We did do mini projects.
All right, so your ultimate goal is probably in the medical field, right?
Yes.
And in the BEST program, are there kids in there that actually want to be teachers?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Because I know that's one of the ultimate goals, but I know it's a very popular program that students like to be in, and there's kind of a, correct me if I'm wrong, a rigorous application process too, right? It's just, you just can't like check that off on your schedule request, right? You have to apply to be in the program, right?
Yes, you do.
And have recommendations and all that type of thing too. All right, so let's talk about powerlifting. We'll start with the ladies first. So, ladies, tell us first, what is the powerlifting program? Just if someone had to ask you in a couple sentences, tell us what it is.
The powerlifting team is basically you lift weights, but you're pushed a lot.
So lifting weights, okay. So yeah, if someone asks me just on, I don't really know anything about the program other than the obvious. Okay, powerlifting, you're lifting weights. So does that? Okay, lifting weights. So how does the word power, get into it? Are you challenged to lift heavy weights or?
Yes, we do lift a lot of heavy weights, and we are building ourselves up. So when we go to these competitions are just like basically who can lift the most, and that's our ultimate goal, is to just push ourselves so we can just lift more and more.
So you two ladies, what attracted you to the program? Because probably stereotypically, it's everyone with think of the big muscular Hercules, Arnold Schwarzenegger type, muscular guy. But what attracts you all as females to the program?
Just lifting the weights. It's been fun. I've liked it. That's what attracted me, is like being able to lift heavy. Because like most girls can, but some can't, and it's like I like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was a way to get better at volleyball, because I play volleyball both at club and for ball high, and I just saw it as an opportunity to get stronger, like help me with jumping higher, like having stronger arms so I could hit better, and just things to better myself.
Because I know in a lot of sports they tell the kids, go hit the weight room, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But so when they tell the kids to hit the weight room, but it sounds like you all are kind of taking it to the next level, right?
Definitely.
All right, so before I move on to the guys, how do you build yourself to lift even heavier weight? I mean, it's obviously you just don't walk in one day and go, oh, I'm going to lift this 200-pound weight. How do you build up your stamina?
We do heavy weight, but lower reps.
I would say sometimes we have to start with the lower weight and do a lot of reps in that, so you're like used to it, and then that's when you start moving the weight, when when you realize it's getting easier for you, that's when you should start moving on the weight.
So you start the lower weights, and once you kind of conquer that, go kind of push yourself, all right, and challenge yourself. So when you want to say, okay, I want to lift some heavier weight, what is the next step? Do you increase it by 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds?
I would say it really depends on how easy the previous weight was for you. Like, I know for me it's harder to move up on my deadlifts, but it's easier for me to move up on my squats. So on deadlifts, I would probably like keep moving up by like 5 pounds, but squats I could jump 10 to 20 pounds.
All right, so here's another question. Being a female, you know, and obviously you're physically different than, you know, makeup than the guys. How does it make your training different than being a guy training?
I think the training is the same. I don't see any difference between me and the guys doing the same training.
Really? Okay. So you don't feel any difference?
Mm-mm.
I also believe that. I feel like whatever they can do, we can usually do. It's just being more careful and like just trying not to hurt ourselves while lifting these weights.
Yeah. So how do you prevent yourself from hurting yourself? You know, I always say, you know, don't hurt your back. You don't want to obviously throw your back or pull muscles. So what type of precautions do you take?
We have belts we wear around our waists.
Mm-hmm.
That helps us keep our back straight and not bending it over.
And it's also just about always remembering your technique. Like there's a technique for everything, and forgetting that is how you get injured.
To hold your back straight, that's like typical. Is just like if you're lifting a heavy box, right? Bend down, keep your back straight, right?
Yeah, keep your back straight.
Lift with your legs, right?
Yes.
Yes, have your butt low to the ground,
Right.
so it's all
Yeah.
legs and not your back when you're lifting.
Exactly. All right, so moving on to the guy. Okay, so how long have you, before we finish up with the lady, how long have you been in the powerlifting program?
This is my 4th year.
Fourth year, wow.
Yes, I've been here since freshman year.
And this is my 2nd year. I started my freshman year.
So we've been hearing more and more about powerlifting. You probably feel like it's kind of grown in popularity.
Definitely.
So in your 4 years, how have you seen a change?
My freshman year, we weren't really that pushed, but especially my senior year, I've seen a difference, especially because we have new coaches too,
Right.
that are pushing us to
Have some new blood in the program?
Yes,
Mhm.
they really are pushing us. They want us to get there. They want us to get to the state finals,
Right.
regionals. Yeah.
Okay, all right, moving on to the guys. So how long have you all been in the program?
This is my 2nd year.
Your 2nd year?
This is also my 2nd year.
2nd year, so what brought you to the program?
Well, I've been knowing Coach O for 4 years, and to be honest, we really never bonded
Mm-hmm.
like this. So with Coach O, I'm comfortable with this program, and he encouraged me to join it.
Good.
Well, powerlifting wasn't my first intentions. I was actually a football player and a track star.
Uh-huh.
So those two, and I felt I needed to get stronger. So at first it was all about getting stronger, but then we started going to the meets, and I figured I could really compete and make a move in the weight class that I'm in. So we just been working hard this year, and it's really pushed me to stay in powerlifting.
All right, so lifting, what is the heaviest weight you've ever lifted?
The heaviest weight I've lifted was 425 on deadlift.
425,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
If I had to guess, I wouldn't have said that. 425, I'm impressed. All right, and how about you? What's your biggest weight? Strong?
320.
320,
Yeah.
okay. And Mr. 425 over here, so how did you build yourself to be able to lift that?
Well, first, when I first came into this program as a freshman, I didn't have any muscles at all, and it was all about strength, and really consistency is key for me. If you're constantly in the weight room and you're constantly working on yourself, it's no point but to get better. So just consistency and staying in the weight room and just following my teachings, following my technique, that's what made me stronger.
So, do you have any aspirations to lift even heavier weights than that?
Oh, of course.
Of course, right?
Yes.
500's in your sight?
Yes, most
Wow.
definitely.
And those are like the big, so when you lift 425, how many of those big weights are on the, what do you call that, pole?
On the
bar.
The bar, okay, the bar.
There was 4 plates on the bar, and I think 4 plates and a 10 on each side.
Wow, okay. All right, so kind of to wrap up, we'll start with the guys first. Give your biggest sell pitch, okay? Why should other students join this program, and why is it so fun, and what has it done to you personally?
But to be honest, powerlifting is not for everyone. Everyone would not survive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do want to get stronger, this is the program. We have the right coaches and the equipment for it.
I even say that about my program. Unless you're in here having fun and want to do it, it's for you. But if you're not having fun and you don't want to do it, then it's not for you, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, how about you?
As for me, just like G said, if you're not willing to put in the work, then don't come. But you also got to think about the other aspect. It's a lot of new people that I met and a lot of family that I made, really. And just I have people to look up to now. I know it's not just me in there. It's everybody in there pushing themselves and working hard, and definitely competing against my brother G. That's the most fun part.
The good competition there, right?
Yeah, it's a
It's
great
good little
competition.
friendly competition there, right?
And Coach O.
Yeah.
All right, and down there are two young ladies at the end. Again, you know, like when you just kind of like close your eyes and think about powerlifting, you don't traditionally think of or see girls, right? So, what's your big pitch to attract? How would you attract more girls to the program?
I always tell my female friends about how we are a family. Like, these are my sisters in here, and we're just lifting weights together, and it's so much fun. But it's like you gotta have the right mentality, especially the people who also play sports. You're gonna get stronger in all aspects. You're gonna be better at not just powerlifting, but you're gonna be better in soccer, basketball, volleyball, whatever sport you play. By coming into the weight room and just working hard, you're gonna get better in everything, and that's what everyone should achieve for.
Cool. All right, and before we sign off, tell us about competition. How many? Someone can be the spokesperson for that. Have you all participated in competitions this school year so far?
Yes, we have. We've had 2.
To me,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And those are like students from other schools. Y'all meet together somewhere, and
Yes. It's the last meet we had over 300 lifters.
crazy.
okay. So tell me, are you entered in different rounds or different stages of competition? So what is a competition?
The way it's broken down, it's broken down between, of course, boys and girls.
Uh-huh.
But then once it goes deeper into weight class, so if you're a smaller person, you'll be lifting with the smaller weighted people. But if you're a larger person, you'll be lifting with the larger weighted people.
Like the 185s to the 200s, like that.
All right, so whenever you're in your category and you're competing, how do you know that you did well, or, you know, how can you place?
So on the board, it has everyone's initial weight, and you can gauge where you're at based on the weight, based on the position that you're in.
Mhm.
So if you're in second to last, that means you're lifting one of the heaviest weights.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where the competition comes into play. If someone lifted heavier than you in squat, then you got to go and get him in bench. And if he lifted heavier than the bench, then you got to go to deadlift and beat him. That's where the competition comes into play.
Wow. So do you all enjoy the competition?
Yes.
Is it fun?
A lot.
I love it.
And for what I've seen, kind of recent results, you all done really well. So congratulations on that. And I know, and we've had that comment already, that the program has really gained prominence because you have some good leaders in the program, like coaches this year, and that's what it takes. You know, it takes that spark, and like we've already heard, sound like you've bonded with the coaches and stuff too. So, you know, as teachers and coaches, you know, we're always told and reminded that our programs, and one of the big ways for our programs to grow, you got to build those relationships with your kids. You know,
Yes.
where build that level of trust, and if coach asks you to step it up, you're willing to do that for coach, and did you trust your coach or teacher or whatever. So, congratulations on bringing prominence to the program, and sounds like you're just going to continually go up and up and up, and bring a lot more recognition to the program, to the school. Any final thoughts or that anyone wants to say?
Wish us luck on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your next one. So
Yes,
on
sir.
Saturday, all right.
Yes.
So this is being recorded on January. Today's the 30th of January, so that's the Saturday the 1st, right? So where is the competition at?
It's at
They're
Wallace
looking at
High
Coach
School.
right. Where's it
It's
at?
at Wallace High School. It's in Wallace, Texas, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wallace. Okay, so you're going to travel, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Get in the yellow limousine and go, right? So,
Yeah.
so it sounds like that's an all-day deal, right? So you go there
Yes,
and
sir.
probably leave early and come back
Leave at
when
3.
Yeah,
In the morning, yeah.
3 in the morning.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Well, I guess you'll be sleeping, right? Bring your blankets and
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
get some rest or whatever. Okay, but I just thought one last thing. Nutritional wise, are y'all on any special nutritional? Because
Yes.
if we had a camera on, I know Coach is here doing a probably live feed on his phone, and there's another one going on, but this is being recorded. But if everyone could see, these are really physically fit, slim and trim students. So nutrition wise, what do you do to make yourself more nutritionally sound?
But like me, I eat salads all day.
Salads,
Salads,
rabbit food. You like rabbit
water,
food?
yes.
Water.
Yes, sir. Sometimes peanut butter, things
That's
like
good.
that. Yes, sir.
Protein and stuff.
Mhm.
So you try and stay away from sugars and stuff?
I try.
You try?
Yes, sir.
All right. What about you?
And for me, well, the thing about with powerlifting is you have to be in a specific weight class.
Right.
And I know my brother G,
Yeah.
he's going through it. If he gets into a lower weight class, he'll be able to compete at a higher level. So I know every day he's sending me videos him in 5 different shirts and 5 different shorts, trying to sweat off the weight and eating right.
I'm glad you said that. See, like, at practice, we wear trash bags under our clothes. And we wear, like, long sleeve shirts and drop fit clothes. I mean, pants to help us sweat a lot so I can drop down to a lower class.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Ooh,
sir.
that makes me sweat just thinking about it. All right, ladies, any special diets or regimens that you're on?
I just try to stay away from sodas and sugars.
Yeah.
Try to just get like a good balance of all the food, like good food I can get.
I stay away from dairy, and I eat a lot of vegetables and protein, like chicken, salmon.
Well, y'all are setting yourselves up good for the rest of your life if you keep that dietary habits around. You'll continue to live healthy for a long life and make your doctors when you go in for physicals and stuff very happy when they go, what are you eating? Or you just stay physically trim. So congratulations on that. So all right, so good luck on Saturday, and congratulations for being great leaders in the program. And I know great things will continue to follow for us. You've been listening to a special edition of Tornado Spotlight on K-Tor, the Tornado, featuring powerlifting, and we will talk to you again soon. And that's obviously her sign right there. And if you turn around and look at, that's actually her signature. So her claim to fame was, she was born in Galveston, so she kind of meets these little check marks. BOI. Anyone's ever seen the abandoned movie theater downtown, the Martini Theater?
Yeah.
Okay, that belongs to the Martini family, that Martini. So at one time, the Martini family owned all the movie houses in Galveston, like back in the 30s and 40s. They owned like 7 or 8 of them. If you can imagine that many were in Galveston. So part of that family, but her claim to fame is she was a famous sports, TV and radio person, where she did was a sports person on TV, and she did some really good sports talk shows in the 70s and the 80s. And but her big thing was she was the first female sports reporter ever allowed in a male locker room.
Oh, wow.
Because like right now it's just females go in locker rooms or whatever, nothing said or whatever. But up until 1974, which really isn't that. If you think about it, not too terribly long ago, it was taboo for women to go into male locker room. Because number one, probably for the obvious reason, they may see something, or what are you doing, or whatever. And then it was all men's club. It's like back then. A lot of times, females who were wanted to be in sports, like sports report, they were discriminated against. Like, what do females know about sports? It was a guys' club. So anyway, interestingly enough, when she went into the male locker room, it was at the Astrodome, and everyone knows where the Astrodome is, right? When the Astros used to play in the Astrodome, it was during an Astros game when the Astros played the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was late in August, and the Dodgers had just clinched the National League West. So back then it was the National League East and West. It went all these different divisions. So they had just clinched it where they could go in the playoffs. And it was the Dodgers that invited her in the locker room. It was not the Astros. So she was standing out in the hallway like the other few female sports reporters had to. They couldn't go in the locker room. So hoping to get a couple players who would come out in a good mood, to do an interview, or they could have just, oh no, I got to go or whatever. So it was one of the coaches that invited her in, and so that broke the barrier. So all these ladies that, when you watch ESPN stuff, you see ladies all the time, right?
Yeah.
So they owe it to her because she broke that barrier. So anyway, so when we built this radio studio and stuff, we heard about her and invited the family. So sadly, like in '94, she passed away. So she's no longer living. So we wanted to do a tribute because that's historically, like especially for the females, she broke that barrier. So all these ladies that you see on TV, they all owe it to her because they used to be taboo. Not only that, she was, oh, what do women know about sports? They don't know anything. And, you know, then the guys didn't want them in the locker room. Now it's, you know, everyday life now. So whenever the coach brought him in, he had a speech to the players saying, all right, this girl's here to do her job, no funny business or whatever, let her do her job and that type of thing. So anyway, so that's the kind of the quick story about that. So, and that's actually her signature. Her family found that her signature, and she's buried here in Galveston, the cemetery that's there on 61st Street. That's where she's buried, behind Ross. Okay, all right, so let me turn my camera on. Okay, move closer together. Okay, you need to, yeah, closer together. Oh, what is